Have you guys ever wanted to have the abilities of a Sith Lord but don't want that weird, wrinkly face that Darth Sidious had? Yeah, me too. That's why I'm really glad we got the Stormcaller in Destiny 2. Let's go ahead and talk about it. What's going on, guys? So in today's video I'm going to be going over my personal recommendations for the Stormcaller. Honestly, I'm going to be figuring out what I want to use on this thing. As you can see, I've got an upgrade point here. I'm going to figure out which one of these skill trees I really want to go with first. I've not looked at any of them. Any of the either skill tree there. So everything else I've already got the way I want it. But let's go ahead and take a look at everything, and yeah, we'll see where it leads us. And I really hope this helps you guys out at the same time. So, Stormcaller, if you're familiar with it in Destiny 1, I always called it the Darth Sidious subclass. If you're not familiar with Darth Sidious, what the fuck is wrong with you? Go watch a Star Wars movie. It's basically your Force Lightning from Star Wars. You float around the map, zapping everything, anything and everything that moves, and some stuff that doesn't move, because fuck that lamp. So, Storm Trance is your super ability. When you pop it, it's gonna let you chain arc lightning. You ever watch lightning jump from one thing to the other? It's basically what this does. It chains between enemies and just devastates everything. This is your other roaming super for the Warlock, and this one honestly deals more damage to more enemies over the course of the super than the Dawnblade does, in my personal opinion. Because with the Dawnblade, you gotta sit there and aim at them, then you gotta press a button, and then you gotta let it fly, and they're gonna teleport out of the way because the freaking Taken like to teleport away from everything. Sort of the Fallen. I feel like there are too many enemies that teleport in this game, but that's another story. That's a whole nother video that I'll make eventually. So this one, yes, they're going to teleport. It's not going to make a difference. They're still going to get hit by lightning, so they're still going to die. I'll show you guys what the Storm Trance looks like at the end of the video, just like I did with the Nova Bomb in the other video. You got Empowering Rift and Healing Rift, just like the other two subclasses. So you either get an area of effect that deals bonus damage for anybody standing in it, or you get an area of effect that heals you continuously while you're standing in it, or if you have full health, it gives you an overshield. So, depending on your situation, I'm running the Empowering Rift because I was running the raid earlier, and you need it for the final raid boss. Next up, you've got your jump abilities, or your glides, as the Warlocks call them, because they glide through the air like a freaking little fairy. You got Strafe Glide for strong direction control, Burst Glide for a strong initial burst of speed, and then you've got Balanced Glide for moderate speed and directional control. With this subclass, I've actually found that the Burst Glide is a personal favorite of mine. Sometimes I'll switch over to Balanced Glide, but I really like the Burst Glide on this one. Next up, as far as the glides go, sorry, I know I'm backpedaling here. It depends on the situation that you're in. If you really need to get out of there really quick, Burst Glide is better. If you kind of need a balance between everything, go with the Balanced Glide. That's all there is to it. So for the grenades, you've got an Arc Bolt grenade. Throw this down, it's going to scan the area, it's going to shoot out a bolt of lightning that's actually going to chain between nearby enemies. So it's definitely good. If you're in PvP, this is going to be good to help get you enemies that are around the corner. They're not going to be able to get away from it. It's freaking lightning, dude. You cannot escape from lightning. If you can, you're Thor, and we need to hang out. Then you got the Pulse Grenade. This one sends out pulses. It'll stay in the same spot that it's in, but it'll pulse out lightning, and anybody caught inside of it is going to take continuous damage. Then you've got the Storm Grenade. This is a personal favorite of mine, and I will show you what it looks like also at the end of the video and show you why it's my favorite. Storm Grenade is, you throw it down and it just drops lightning out of the sky. Well, technically lightning comes from the ground, but that's neither here nor there. Storm Grenade, you're going to chuck it out there. It's going to electrocute everything that's underneath it. So it is my personal favorite. Sometimes I will use the Arc Bolt Grenade. Sometimes I'll use the Pulse Grenade. It really just depends on how I'm feeling that day. Most of the time I'm going to use the Storm Grenade, though, because it's going to hit people on different levels if there's enemies above you as well. So next up, we've got the two skill trees. You've got either the Attunement of Conduction, which is this top one up here, or the bottom one is the Attunement of the Elements. So we're going to take a look at each one of them and see what I want to use this glorious upgrade point on. So we'll start with the Elements down here at the bottom. You've got Rising Storm. Basically, with the Rising Storm, when you use your melee ability, you electrocute enemies at a longer distance, and it recharges your super, grenade, and melee energy. So you're going to use your melee energy and get some of it back, and it's going to increase your super and grenade energy. So that's actually really cool. Next up on this one, you've got Landfall. Landfall, basically, if you're in the air, or even if you're on the ground, it doesn't matter. A lot of people use it from the air, though. Whenever you cast Storm Trance, you fire a bolt of lightning into the ground, and it damages everything around you. It'll kill a guardian underneath you in the Crucible, or it'll take out a massive number of enemies down below you if you're in PvP, or PvE rather. So I'm a big fan of Landfall. I used the gloves in Destiny 1 that automatically granted Landfall as an ability. So I'm a big fan of Landfall. I've killed many Guardians and many of Hive and Fallen with the Landfall ability. Next up, you've got Electrostatic Surge. Your Rift charges faster when allies are near. So it's going to go along with your Rift abilities that are over here. They're going to recharge faster anytime an ally is near you. So if you're in the raid and everybody's huddled up beside you, you're going to get your Rift back faster, meaning that you're either going to be able to heal your allies faster, or be able to drop another healing Rift faster to heal them more, or you're going to be able to do more damage as far as the Empowering Rift goes. That's actually a really good perk to have. Next up, you have Arc Soul. I have actually used this from other Warlocks who have dropped their Rift in the raid and in strikes and everything. It basically gives you like a little drone of electricity. It's called an Arc Soul that floats around you and shoots out electricity at enemies. It's pretty badass if you ask me. It's helped out a lot in the raid, just being able to deal extra damage with it. And that'll follow you around for a few seconds. It's better if you're using the Empowering Rift to stay in it, because you're going to get that boost for your Arc Soul as well. So it's definitely good to stay in the Empowering Rift if that's the one that you're using, but it will follow you around for a few seconds if you leave that Rift. Next up, we've got the Attunement of Conduction. First thing on the list is Chain Lightning. So your melee hits at an extended range, just like the Rising Storm does. Both your melees are going to be able to reach out further. But this one is going to chain lightning between targets and deal damage to more enemies at once. Really good for ad control, really good for a group of enemies in the Crucible that you need to drop down, or if you've got your allies are in the Crucible, you're sitting there hitting them and it's not doing anything, and you're gonna die anyway. You know when you're gonna die when that health meter hits red. You're gonna go up and slap one of them, and it's gonna hit the other three, and your allies are gonna be able to take them all down a lot faster. So that's definitely, chain lightning is a good thing to have. You won't use it in PvP as much. You'll use it in PvE more, but definitely a good perk. Next up, you've got Transcendence. When cast with full grenade and melee energy, Storm Trance lasts longer and fully restores your health. So basically, if your grenade and melee energy are full, they're all the way up. You can toss a grenade out, or you can hit something with your melee ability. Storm Trance is going to last longer if you use it, and it's going to fully restore your health if you're low. So definitely a good perk to have there if you're low on health and you need to pop your Storm Trance. It's going to heal you, and you're going to be able to take out a lot of baddies really quick. Next up, we've got Arc Web. Enemies damaged by your grenades chain lightning to nearby enemies. So, again, even if you're using the Arc Grenade, which chains bolts of lightning to nearby enemies, it's going to chain to more enemies. If you're using Pulse Grenade or Storm Grenade, it's going to chain to nearby enemies. Arc Web is a personal favorite of mine. I used it a lot in Destiny 1, and I definitely like the Arc Web ability. It's very good for ad control. Last but not least, you've got the Ionic Blink. So this allows you to move more while you're using your Storm Trance. Storm Trance is a very slow moving super. I'm not gonna lie to you about that. I'm not a big fan of how slow it is, and the Ionic Blink is definitely a good perk to have because it's gonna let you teleport around the map, and it's gonna make it harder for you to get hit while still taking out a lot of enemies. Personally, if I'm gonna choose between the two, I'm gonna go with the Attunement of the Elements. It feels more like me with the Landfall and the Electrostatic Surge and my little Arc Soul dudes. I feel like this one is more me. I'll still use this one once I get it unlocked, but I really want that Rising Storm perk. So there's my Attunement of the Elements started. Now let me pop down to Earth real quick, and I will show you guys what the Storm Grenade looks like and what the Storm Trance looks like with the I'll see if I can pop that Rising Storm too to show you that it will recharge your Super Grenade and melee energy. Alright guys, first thing I'm going to show you is that Storm Grenade. So there's a bunch of bad guys right here. Storm Grenade drops lightning out of the sky. Now, there's a few baddies over here. Not really enough to use my Storm Trance though. Let me see if I can get some Cabal over here. I mean, those three are going to die really quick. Let me do this. When I get a bunch of enemies, I'll be right back. Alright guys, bunch of enemies coming down. Let's pop that Storm Trance, and let's go Darth Sidious on their asses. So you're just shooting lightning out at them, and it's just devastating. It drops them quick. And as you can see, it is a very slow-moving super. So that Ionic Blink does come in handy sometimes. But as far as like the time that you have Storm Trance on, it's really not that high as far as like how long it stays active. Storm Trance is definitely one of those that you got to use it when there's enemies near, or you're gonna waste it. So let's chuck this grenade out here real quick. I'll show you the lightning grenade one more time. Damn, that's badass. So as you can see, I am low on grenade energy. I am low on super energy. but I've got my Rising Storm perk. Keep an eye on the bottom left and take a look at my melee, grenade, and super energy whenever I hit these guys, okay? Did you see how it popped up there? It's going to make it so that you get energy. It's not a lot. I mean, it's not going to fill your super up or anything, but it's going to make it so that your grenade's going to pop back a little bit faster. Guys, that does it for this video. Apparently, there is a servitor that really wants to die today. Let me show you guys the Empowering Rift while I'm here. Here, buddy. As you can see, it is an area of effect around me. Other Guardians could be standing in that and taking advantage of it as well. There's just nobody here. I'm running around solo. But guys, that does it for the last subclass in the Warlock class. If you guys haven't seen my other videos on the Warlock and you're curious about the Dawnblade or the Voidwalker subclasses, there's a link in the description for both of those. If you're curious about the subclasses for the Hunter, there's a link in the description for those subclass videos as well. And once I have the Titan subclasses unlocked and I do my videos on those, I will also put those in the description of this video as well. So if you all like this, if you like the videos like this, let me know in the comments down below. Hit like if you liked it. If you didn't like it, tell me. Let me know what you guys want to see. If this helped you get an idea of what you want to use as far as Stormcaller goes, definitely let me know in the comments. If you use something different than what I do, also let me know in the comments. If you guys are new here, make sure you hit subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss out on anything. And yeah, I'm going to go see if I can find more Fallen to kill. I'll see you guys next time.